In a kingdom far, far away, there was the stunning princess. Seriously, her beauty was legendary. People traveled from all over just to catch a glimpse of her. It was like she had this magical charm that drew everyone in, you know. Every single day she strolled through the bustling market, and you wouldn't believe the way people reacted. They'd bow down and say, "Oh my God, Your Highness." It was wild, but deep down, she was bursting with curiosity about life beyond those castle walls. She dreamed of tasting street food, hearing laughter, and making friends outside her royal bubble. The world beyond her kingdom felt like an adventure waiting to happen, and she just couldn't shake off that longing to explore it all. One day, while strolling through a sunlit park, she bumped into a handsome stranger. They struck up a conversation, and she discovered he was actually a prince from a neighboring kingdom. His name? Prince Charming, totally fitting because he was just as dreamy as it sounds. They spent hours chatting, laughing and sharing stories, and before they knew it, sparks were flying. It felt like a scene straight out of a fairy tale. Eventually, they fell head over heels in love, and tied the knot in a magical ceremony that everyone in the kingdom talked about for years. Can you believe it? What a whirlwind romance. She was absolutely overjoyed, you know? Finally, she could share her life with someone who truly understood and appreciated her quirks and dreams. They laughed together, explored new places, and made unforgettable memories. But then, out of nowhere, the princess received a heart-wrenching message. Her father, the king, had passed away. It hit her like a ton of bricks. Suddenly, she realized it was time to return home, to a kingdom that needed her, but her heart ached at the thought of leaving her newfound happiness behind. When she finally broke the news to Prince Charming, he was nothing but understanding and super supportive. You know, he totally got that her duty was to her people, and that meant a lot to her. He promised to visit her as soon as he could, which made her heart flutter with hope. The princess felt so grateful for his unwavering support. It's like she knew deep down that no matter what happened, she could always count on him to be there for her. It was such a relief to have someone who truly understood her struggles, right? Their bond was really something special, and it gave her the strength to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But when the princess finally arrived home, she was hit with a gut-wrenching sight. Her once vibrant kingdom, filled with laughter and joy, lay in ruins. Homes were reduced to rubble, shops were shattered, and the air was thick with sorrow. People were crying, their faces etched with despair, and there was no sign of her beloved Prince Charming. Panic gripped her heart. Where was he? What had happened to him? She could only imagine the chaos that had unfolded while she was away. The thought of him in danger made her stomach twist. It was like a nightmare come to life, and she had to find him, no matter what it took. As she carefully walked through the rubble, the air heavy with dust and despair, she stumbled upon an old woman sitting among the ruins. With tears in her eyes, the woman shared the heartbreaking news. Her kingdom had been ruthlessly attacked and taken over by a neighboring realm. The princess's heart sank like a stone. Could this betrayal really be the work of her own husband? The thought twisted in her mind, leaving her feeling lost and shattered. How could he do this to her? To their home? Suddenly, she heard a voice that sent a shiver down her spine. My, look who finally decided to grace us with her presence. It was Prince Charming, but not just any prince. He was now King Charming, ruler of her kingdom. The sparkle in his eyes was gone, replaced by the weight of responsibility. She remembered the days when they'd sneak away for adventures, laughing under the stars. Now, he stood there in royal attire, exuding authority but missing that playful charm she adored. It was a bittersweet moment, filled with nostalgia and a hint of longing. Would he still remember the fun they had? Or was he too caught up in his new role? "How could you?" she asked. "You betrayed me. King Charming smiled wickedly. "I'm afraid that I must have seemed rather uncharitable toward you, my dear wife. But the fact is, you see, I needed a kingdom, and yours was the perfect target. Your people are strong and your resources are abundant. It was an easy conquest." The princess was devastated. She couldn't believe that the man she loved, the man she trusted, had betrayed her in such a horrible way. But she knew that she couldn't let him win. She had to do something. With the help of her loyal subjects, the princess fought back against King Charming and his army. It was a long and hard battle, but in the end, the princess and her people were victorious. King Charming was defeated, and his army scattered. The princess had reclaimed her kingdom, and her people were safe. In the aftermath of the battle, the princess and her people began the long process of rebuilding their lives. Homes and shops were repaired, farms were planted, and the people began to heal. The princess was exhausted, but also hopeful for the future. She had learned that even in the darkest of times, hope and resilience can prevail. As for Prince Charming, he was never seen again. Some say he fled to a neighboring kingdom, while others say he simply vanished into thin air. But the princess knew that no matter where he was, he would never find true happiness. For he had betrayed not only her, but her entire kingdom. And so the princess and her people lived happily ever after.